Hi there. Hey, I'm Jen Rice, and this is my second go on the video. If you saw this earlier and popped on live, I appreciate you watching the first round, but for whatever reason, Facebook didn't save it, so we're just hit and go again, and we're not ruminating about it. So my topic today came from, I'm currently doing a 14-day challenge with a group of women, and we went over a video by Dr. Guy Winch, and he's a psychologist who did a TED Talk, and it was all about the topic of rumination, which I didn't even know that was the word for it, but essentially that's what I have been, is a ruminator, and that is someone that kind of plays situations over and over again in their mind. And it's sort of like the mind is on like a constant repeat, maybe from a conversation you had with someone, or a situation that happened, but that you're constantly on this replay, and it can actually be a habit that's formed over time because we keep doing it. And what it can cost us is a lot of focus. It can cost us time. It can cost us energy. And it can also lead to some clinical implications like depression, alcoholism. It can worsen anxiety and PTSD. And we really want to kind of win this battle of like a negative thinking, replaying over and over again a situation that we really, can't do much about. It already happened, right? So the best way that we can kind of get rid of this rumination, or at least I have 5 tips that can really help us to kind of nail it down a little bit better, is to really start immediately realizing that we're even doing it in the first place, right? So like I'm talking about thanks for jumping on, you guys. I know this is my second go around today. The Facebook was acted up a bit. It didn't post the first one, but I think this topic is really important because if I have felt this way where I've replayed scenarios over and over and over in my head in the past, things that have happened, a conversation that maybe I've had, but I didn't realize it had like a name or a term or any like psychological implications to it, and I didn't realize that it could also worsen depression. So I thought, well, there may be some people in my network who need to hear this message, and maybe you even know someone who might benefit from hearing this. And since we know that constantly replaying scenarios or stories in our mind is something that can worsen depression, anxiety, if you already suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. Since we built that habit muscle to create the rumination quality, then we can also build a habit muscle to get rid of it. Hey there, thanks for joining in from Philly, love it. So I appreciate it too if you were on the first, I did this video a few minutes ago, but it did not upload, and I feel like the topic is important, so I want to hit it. I want to make sure to get the 5 tips out. So here we go. So 5 tips to stop this cycle, this feeling that you keep having to play over a conversation in your mind. A couple days ago, I did a video on sleep. And if you have trouble going to sleep, or maybe you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't get back to sleep, oftentimes it's because you're either anticipatory and you're thinking about the future, or maybe you're a ruminator like I am, which is someone maybe replaying some things that had happened earlier in the day that just keep kind of going through your mind. So you basically want to take, tip 1 is you take about 5 minutes when you feel yourself thinking about, like for example, maybe it's a conversation I have with my new supervising doctor. Maybe I'm replaying something in the conversation that we had for whatever reason. Did I say that right? Did that come out correctly? Is she thinking about this? I'm going to give myself 5 minutes to like dwell in that, right? Just kind of like dig all in it, let it spin around in there. And after 5 minutes, think, digest, and then like don't think about it again. Don't bring back that same situation again. Number 2 is to get out of our own head, meaning that we should call someone, like one of your good friends, maybe a family member. Like my mom would be someone I would absolutely pick up the phone and call. She'll, of course, I'm sure tell me what's going on in her life. It'll also be a distraction. I can be supportive of her. I can get out of my own head. So, picking up the phone, talking to someone else can really help you. Number 3 is to do something else physically. So actually, when you keep replaying, you're doing the replay thing, you want to just get up and move. Get up and move, start doing something physical, whether that looks like walking, going to the gym, I don't know, running in place, whatever you have to do, it kind of will reset your mind. And it's funny because I'm also listening to on Audible Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. And this is where I think her rule got so amazing and popular, is that you can really reset your mind by doing something, either by moving, doing a countdown, that kind of thing. Number 4 out of the 5 is, this is a tough one to, I guess, admit, but you know, it's so true that people do not think about you as much as you think about you. So people are not thinking about you as much as you're thinking about you. So here I am replaying some conversation, and she isn't probably thinking about it at all, right? So I think that it's important for us to pull back and sort of realize that maybe we're just habitually doing this, and it's not really with any, it's not really serving any purpose, right? It's just increasing anxiety, increasing depression, and we don't want to do any of that. Okay, so the 5th and final tip is notice when you're doing it. So become kind of hyper aware of the fact that, oh, there it is, here I go. Because that's one of the first ways that we can lean into the fact that we need to change and either get moving, call someone, take 5 minutes, but we've got to move on from it because we're burning a lot of time doing it. And like I said in the intro, I'm completely guilty of this. I often will rehash things and, you know, rehash it again. And I could probably even imagine that I've shared with Dennis like different stories over and over again. And it's really important for us to try to move on from this. So if you're interested in the TED Talk by Dr. Guy Winch, I'll put it in the comment section here, hopefully, if this video saves. And I don't mind doing it again because I feel like I get a little different something each time, but it'd be great if this one saves well. And you could take a look at that. Now, if you like this, let me go, I want to make sure I share the cow part. So rumination and ruminating came from the word rumen, which is how a cow digests. And I know this is kind of weird, but I thought this was so interesting. Because it's just what they call it. So they basically will, rumen is like they digest the food and it churns around real slowly in the stomach, and they even bring some of it up to bring it back down again. And that's just really, you know, that is like kind of what we're talking about in the sense that if we're kind of bringing back up these thoughts over and over and over again and replaying these scenarios in our head, you know, I'm just going to take on the visual for myself of this whole cow thing, and I'm just going to try to stop doing it because I don't want to be I don't want to do the rumen part of how the cow eats and digests its food, right? So hopefully you guys have found value in this video today. If you know someone who may be a ruminator like I am, or want to become a recovering ruminator, please feel free to share this with them. And if you like this content, please consider tuning into my Jenn Rice International page. I have some extra content on there on health. And we specifically go into a lot of things with functional medicine. I'm also currently doing a 14-day intro to anti-inflammatory lifestyle challenge, which we're wrapping up. We're actually, I can't believe, on day 12 already of 14. And I'm going to host another in June, which I'm excited to bring out there. And if you're interested in it, please send me a private message. Okay, I hope you guys have a great weekend.